Hello everyone, I am Jay and today I will be teaching you guys how to create your own virtual avatar. Now, first a disclaimer, I am pretty new to virtual streaming or virtual YouTubing. So a lot of things that I might talk about or teach you guys might sound pretty confusing because it can be a bit confusing, especially when you're not familiar with all this kind of stuff. But don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure that you guys will definitely get the hang of it the more you practice and the more you learn about how to create your own virtual avatar and do streaming with it. So yeah, and the first things first, when you want to do a virtual stream or you want to be a VTuber, you need a avatar. It can be 2D or it can be 3D. What I am using right now is a 3D model that I created myself, but you can use a 2D model, and there's a lot of other tutorials about that which uses live 2D, so that's pretty useful. But only today I'll be teaching you guys how to make a 3D model. So there are a lot of people who do commissions for 3D modeling that you can get it either on Tumblr or Fiverr or Twitter. I think Twitter is one of the most common places where a lot of people open up commissions for 3D models. So, but if you don't have the money or you think it's too pricey, then of course you can make your own model, and by doing so you have to download a application called VRoidStudio. So what I'm using is currently called VRoidStudio, as you can see behind the screen. So I actually made a few of my own models right here. So currently I'm using this model, which is my avatar. But you can also use their own preset avatars right here if you want to. You have to read the terms and the conditions, of course. So if you're very unfamiliar and you want to make your own character, first you gotta press on this new avatar. So you have the option to choose a female or a male. Of course, today I will be choosing a female instead. So it will load. It depends. Mine loads pretty slow sometimes, but it's okay. So we'll just give it a moment to load. So here is the model. So the thing that is really good about VRoidStudio, it is super beginner friendly. And when I say it's super beginner friendly, I meant really beginner friendly. Because if you have no experience in 3D modeling or just modeling in general, VRoidStudio is probably one of the most beginner friendly. I probably repeated that so many times, but I just cannot emphasize how beginner friendly it is for people like me and you or anyone in general. So one thing about VRoidStudio is that when you create hair or clothing, you can use it to draw with a mouse. But for me, I am using a drawing tablet. I find using a drawing tablet easier. I am currently using a Wacom One CTL472 model of my drawing tablet. So first of all, here is the model. Now about VRoidStudio, it's super easy and again beginner friendly, because they already come with all these settings right here where you can play around with it. So you can play around with the eyes, you can play around with the nose. Not only that, you can also play with the hair, and you can play with the body. So if I want to make the hands, go like giant hands, or you want to have broader shoulders, torso. So it's already come prepared for you. The only thing that you guys can to customize it, it comes a lot prepared with a lot of things. So even clothing, they don't really have much options in clothing, but it's still, you can get some presets online, and I'll talk about that later. So yeah, this is pretty much the basic and how it is like in VRoidStudio. So I won't be doing a complicated model. I just want to teach you guys the basics of VRoid. So first of all, in VRoid you can change the textures. What I mean is that I can always click, and let's say I want to change the eyes, right? So you don't like the color that they give. You can always go to textures and you can change it. So they'll give you this guideline, like this template right here, where you can draw over it to change the colors to your liking. So for example, I'm not a huge fan of the eyes. I think VRoid eyes, I wish they had more variety. So this here is the eye template, as you can see. So because like I say, I'm not a huge fan of it, I'm going to change it up. So let's say I really want the color, I want the green eyes on this girl. So what you can do is pick your color and you can draw over it. So as you can see on that side, on the left, they're coloring it in, which is super useful. So you can draw right over and you can customize it however way you want it to be. So I'm just gonna make a really simple eye, draw on a really simple eye, and then right here, oh, you do need to get pretty used to drawing it. Of course you can always bring in the template to Photoshop or any other art program, but I personally prefer just drawing on here so I can see if I made any mistakes or there are things that I need to change. And this is why I prefer using a drawing tablet instead of a mouse, because I feel like when you have a drawing tablet, you have more control over the eyes and the placements. So as you can see, the eyes, I'm not that great at designing. I just want to show you guys an example of how you guys can use the VRoidStudio to its full potential. So yeah, right here, as you can see, these are the eyes. It changes the color once you draw it on. Not only the eyes, but you can also change the face texture and the eyelashes and the eyebrows, which is super customizable. So yeah, but I think now that you can play around with all these textures, you can go play with the hair. So hair, I find it really difficult in VRoidStudio, not because it's, because it's like you need some sort of skills or whatever. No, you don't need any skills. It's just that I personally just find it really difficult to work with hair in VRoidStudio, but it might be different for you. Practice is probably one of the most important things when it comes to creating an avatar. So I am going to just demonstrate a really simple hair. Alright, so I will be adding a freehand group. So here you can see the bone. Well, it's not really the bones, but more like a net out here. And because of the net right here, it gives you like a base to draw your hair on. So for example, like this right here, I can just take the brush, and like I say, it's super friendly, and the reason why is because, let me just adjust. You can just draw on your hair. like this. Gonna make some bangs. And there you go. Super easy. It's like I say, you don't need any sort of skills or any sort of like learning. Well, not well, what I mean by learning is, it like I say, you don't need any skills, you don't need to know any 3D basic skills or whatsoever. It's right here already for you. See? So I just drew the bangs on. It's super easy, super simple. You already got the bangs. But okay, to explain more about these bones right here is, if you're like me and you find like this part here really annoying because there's just like that one hole right there, what I like to do is I click on the group and I adjust it. There you go. So now there's still a little bit of hole, but it's better in a way. Hold on, let me just, again, I am not an expert. I'm not a good 3D modeling in VRoidStudios. I'm sure there are plenty more people out there that are better, but this is just like a little look on how you can make your own avatar. So as you can see, once I push those bones down, there is less of an empty space here, which I like. So here we can see there she has bangs. Now there's a tool in VRoidStudio which, if you want to have both of the hair piece the same length, you can always click on here. There's this thing right here which is called the mirror. So once you click on that, see, it gives you both sides. So right here and right here. So let me do it again. And as you can see, ta-da! Now drawing hair needs a ton of practice, I feel. There are tutorials on YouTube where you can check them out, or if you're lazy or you really can't get the hang of it, you can always import presets from Google or a website which is commonly used, where people upload their own designs and their own hair textures, face textures, which is called Booth. So I'll link the website down below, and there are certain items where you need to pay, but there are also a few items that are free for you to use. You need to check on their terms and conditions, because each and everyone has their own terms and conditions from the creators themselves. So this is pretty much the basic stuff, or the reason why you should use VRoidStudio, because it's really basic. It's really good. You can always adjust the stuff. Right here I'm adjusting the highlights, and it's just really convenient, especially when you want to start up a VTubing channel or streaming. And not only that, like I say, there are so many tons of other stuff like clothing. Right here you can always adjust the stuff like the sleeves or the skirt. Right here, it's just super useful. And also, you can always, if you don't want to like, if you want to take some pictures, you can always go to the camera / exporter right here, and you can try out the facial expressions as well. Right, you can make it smile, sad, anger, joy, and surprise, and it's really good. Like, even VRoidStudio gives you like a function where you can see the hair physics. For example, like Okay, I don't know why it's not blowing, but yeah. I don't know why. It's probably something wrong. I'm not sure, but I'll look into that. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much one of the most basic stuff in VRoidStudio, and why you should actually try it out yourself if you want to get into VTubing or virtual streaming. So I'm so sorry about if I'm talking too much, or if I don't sound very clear, or I just sound like a big mess. It's my first ever video and tutorial, so I hope you guys enjoy it. If you really want to see more, I will say subscribe and let me know in the comments if you want me to make more tutorials, or you have questions about VRoidStudio or what kind of programs I use. Just leave them down below, and if you want to, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time, and enjoy your virtual streaming making. Bye!